1,000 people were killed in the anti-government protests in Iran. Iranian officials are blaming terrorists for the deaths of civilians and security personnel. For the last 2 weeks, Iran has been facing anti-government protests. The protests began as demonstrations in Tehran's bazaars over rampant inflation. The Iranian rial surged to 994,055 against the U.S. dollar, marking a significant devaluation of the national currency in a single day. The protests morphed into an uprising against the Khamenei regime. Inflation has made it difficult for Iranian citizens to purchase essentials like cooking oil and vegetables. The rial's continued fall in the past 24 hours stems from ongoing public protests and economic uncertainty driven by severe U.S. and UN sanctions, high inflation, and the government's recent elimination of a subsidized currency rate for essential imports, all of which have led people to convert savings into foreign currency. The internet in the country has been blocked as protests rise.
Well, no, they're starting to, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination. Well, if they do that, we'll consider things targets that they wouldn't believe. If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it. I have options that are so strong. So, I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
I think one thing President Trump is very good at is always keeping all of his options on the table, and airstrikes would be one of the many, many options that are on the table for the commander-in-chief. Diplomacy is always the first option for the president. He's told all of you last night that what you're hearing publicly from the Iranian regime is quite differently from the messages the administration is receiving privately, and I think the president has an interest in exploring those messages. However, with that said, the president has shown he's unafraid to use military options if and when he deems necessary, and nobody knows that better than Iran.
حرف بی ربطی که اگر چنانچه دولت ایران چنین کنه من میام به طرف شما رو میگیرم، این طرف این اغتشاشگرها و افراد مضر برای کشور، این هم دلشون خوشه و اگه میتونه کشور خودشو اداره کنه، تو کشور خودش حوادث گوناگونی وجود داره.
Amid the fiery protests, U.S. weapons and explosive devices have been found in several homes in Iran, the Iranian intelligence agency claims. Iranian intelligence has also intercepted a foreign truck full of weapons. Some 273 pieces are said to have been professionally concealed inside the vehicle.
که فرد کمی نیست، رئیس سازمان CIA بوده در زمان آقای ترامپ. ایشون توییت زده و میگه که من سال جدید رو به ایرانیانی که در خیابان‌ها هستند و به مأمورین موساد که در کنار اونها حرکت میکنند تبریک میگم. یعنی یک اعتراف صریح که مأمورین موساد تلاش کردند که این جریان تروریستی رو هدایت بکنند.
Wenn sich ein Regime nur noch mit Gewalt an der Macht halten kann, dann ist es faktisch am Ende. Ich gehe davon aus, dass wir jetzt hier auch gerade die letzten Tage und Wochen dieses Regimes sehen.
As Iran grapples with escalating unrest and mounting protests against the regime, the Khamenei leadership faces growing pressure with no signs of relief. The key question now is whether the demonstrations will subside or intensify into a movement demanding regime change and the return of exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi.